Hey guys, Aaron Cybertron Zing here, and today I'm back with another episode of Road to Ranked, where I climb the online VGC 16 ladder and provide live commentary as I go. As you can tell, we are switching to a brand new team for this week. I'm really excited to be using this one. It was actually built by European player Jamie Boyt, who won a regional championship with it over in Europe and also got top 4 at another regionals just this past weekend. He actually has a YouTube channel of his own and a Twitter account. Both are linked in the description below. Definitely show him some love. He's a fantastic player who competed at Worlds last year and has already qualified for Worlds this year, I believe, as well. So definitely want to keep your eye on him, and he's always using some pretty crazy and awesome stuff. So huge shout outs to him for the team. There's actually a team analysis that he did on it already, so if you're curious about the details, you can also check that out on his channel. Anyway, we're just going to jump into it. Would really like to get to the mid 1700s this week. Haven't been pushing too hard for the ratings recently, but would like to push a little bit harder and see what we can do, especially with such an awesome team here. You can already see that it's featuring some pretty crazy stuff like Togetic, so excited to feature that. But we're going to find Ryan from Canada with a rating of 1745 to kick off this episode. And as always, if you enjoy Road to Rank, please show your support by leaving a like on the video, and definitely show Jamie some love as well. So this is already an interesting matchup because we have four of the same Pokemon, Togetic and Togekiss. The kind of interesting matchup here, and the only difference is that he's got Kangaskhan while I've got Gengar. So let's see. Yeah, obviously both of us have Raichu, Rayquaza, Kyogre, and Scizor. We both have the Tailwind option here. Now, Jamie's decision to run Togetic over Togekiss is pretty interesting. I'm actually not entirely 100% sure on his reasons. I haven't talked to him too much about the team, and this is just me giving it a go, but Togetic does get a bunch of cool options, like Dazzling Gleam, and of course, with the Eviolite, it's super bulky. Of course, obviously, Togekiss gets access to all the same moves, but this Togetic is running After You, no Air Slash here, so After You here could be pretty nice, but let's see what I want to lead with here. I don't know, the Raichu War is kind of scary. I do like Gengar here as a lead just because I can Taunt and Sludge Bomb and Icy Wind, so plethora of options right from the get-go with that. Scizor might be worth bringing here. Part of me wants to lead with my own Raichu, but then if we have the Raichu mirror match, then it's going to be a really awkward kind of position. Maybe Kyogre as a lead, just to threaten offensively. Rayquaza in the back. And I like Raichu's... Oh no, I just entered the summary screen. No! Okay, I don't know if it locked it in or not. That was a misclick. That's why you should always go with the buttons and not with the stylus. Alright, so let's see what the game ended up deciding to give me. I'm fine with any of the three, honestly. Raichu would be preferred, but who knows, maybe he'll help us more. He actually leads with Togekiss and Scizor, which I would say is quite ideal here. I can immediately just go Taunt Water Spout, Sludge Bomb Water Spout, etc. So, kind of interesting to see him bring the Scizor here, because I don't think Scizor is that excellent in this matchup. Though I was obviously contemplating bringing it. Who knows, maybe the game did select it for me in the end, so let's see what I have in my back too. But timeouts to start off the episode, that's great. And a pretty close kind of mirror matchup. Okay, so it did give me Raichu, nice, nice. I'm actually really happy about that. So I could just Sludge Bomb, Water Spout. Or I could Taunt Water Spout. Or I could Icy Wind Water Spout. So many options. I do want to Icy Wind here, but I can't let him set up Tailwind. Really can't. But I also don't want him to switch into Rayquaza. Decisions, decisions, decisions. And if he switches into Rayquaza, though, I'll still outspeed, and then his Togekiss would have to protect. Okay, so Scizor is going to switch out. I'm guessing Rayquaza coming in. Oh, it's actually Kyogre. Okay, that's fine. Regardless of what Togekiss goes for, honestly. Because then, after this, I can go for the Icy Wind Protect and then spam Water Spout and let Rayquaza and Kyogre really just go at it with their attacks there. Also curious how fast his Togekiss here, but I am going to get the Taunt off. So no Tailwind unless he has Mental Orb. And I'm faster, too. I could have just Sludge Bombed there, but I don't know. I'm actually not entirely sure of how fast both Togekiss and Kyogre are relative to each other. I don't know. I mean, Togekiss don't typically invest that much in speed, I guess. He's going to go for the Air Slash onto Gengar here, which I'm 100% okay with. So this next turn, I'm going to go for the Icy Wind. And I'm actually going to Protect here. Because Togekiss here is probably going to want to switch out. I mean, he can stay in. He can switch out into Scizor or Rayquaza Regardless, though, it's going to get punished. I guess his best play is to protect Kyogre, but if that's the case, then I get to switch in Rayquaza, then I can just Dragon Descent Water Spout. And with Raichu in the back, Raichu is a really nice option because it gets access to Feint and Nuzzle. Nuzzle being, you know, the same electric type attack that Sage Impart's Pachirisu ran, and it allows you to paralyze, break focus sashes, and avoid getting taunted. So, a plethora of options there. Looks like he's going to stay in with both Pokemon, so I'm going to get an Icy Wind off. Really hoping it doesn't miss here. That'd be great. Okay, good. Connects with both Pokemon. So, sacrificing Gengar here, but it's really done what it's needed to because now I get the free switch into Rayquaza, and I can just kind of sweep with Water Spout and Dragon Ascent. So he's going to go for the Origin Pulse. No Thunder. Gengar actually avoids it, and he Air Slashes, targeting Gengar correctly there. So, had he targeted Kyogre, he actually would have been in even more trouble there. But this will allow me to bring in... kind of want to bring in Raichu, since he's still taunted. But I guess by bringing out Rayquaza, I get to Mega Evolve before he does, which is also huge. Yeah. So here, I'm just gonna Mega Evolve Dragon Ascent and Water Spout, I think. Yeah, the issue here is that he's still taunted with Togekiss, so the Togekiss slot's gonna be taking a lot of damage. And if Kyogre protects here, then the next turn I can just Dragon Ascent it again. But he's staying in with both Pokemon, which is even better for me here. Presumably, though, we're gonna see the Protect on Kyogre. If he doesn't Protect with Kyogre, he's just gonna lose both Pokemon, and it's gonna be even harder for him to win this game. So let's see. No Protect on Kyogre. Wow. Okay. So the Icy Wind here does mean I don't have to worry about any speed issues whatsoever. That's why I did go for it, going for a safer play. So the next turn I could just outspeed with everything. But he's just going to let me pick up 2 free knockouts here. And because I've Mega Evolved the Rayquaza while he hasn't Mega Evolved, I'm assuming his last one is Rayquaza. I don't know, maybe he brought both Kangaskhan and Rayquaza. Actually, no, he couldn't have. He has Scizor. I do have Overheat on this Rayquaza, so that's a free knockout onto Scizor, but I do have to watch out for his last Pokemon here. If it's Kangaskhan, then I don't know, it's going to be really difficult for him to win this one. I think Rayquaza gives him a better shot. I guess he could Power Up Punches on Scizor and then maybe Sucker Punch, make a Sucker Punch play. But, okay, it's going to be Rayquaza coming in here. Not much of a surprise, and Scizor. Alright, so let's see. Airlock coming out. He's going to Mega Evolve, obviously. I mean, I could go... His play here could be to double Protect. Now, I am Max Speed Rayquaza, so this might come down to a Speed tie, which is a little bit annoying. Could switch Kyogre out right now. But he could go for the play of just going for a Dragon-type attack onto Rayquaza. So given that I've got the speed advantage... I think you have to protect Scizor here. I would double Protect if I were him. But let's say he goes for a Dragon Ascent. Or... yeah, I'm just going to Ice Beam Rayquaza, honestly. If he doesn't double Protect, let's say he attacks with Rayquaza, then he takes a ton of damage, if not gets knocked out by Ice Beam, especially if he Dragon Ascents. And with Raichu in the back, I can still go for Electric type attack. He's going to protect Rayquaza, okay. Does he protect Scizor as well? If not, the game's over. Yeah, he's going to go for the double Protect play. So I could have switched out there, but I decided not to. This does make things a little bit dicier, I guess. The reason why I didn't want to switch out there is if he had... I guess I could Dragon Ascent Rayquaza there, which might make more sense. So I'm going to Overheat once again. I guess he could win the speed tie. I'll just Overheat Ice Beam. Let's see, if I lose the speed tie, if he goes for a Draco Meteor, I'll get an Ice Beam off. He's going to go for the Bullet Punch onto Rayquaza. Okay. Overheat. Misses Scizor? Who's he Dragon Ascenting? Kyogre? Do I survive? Okay, I survive. Okay. Let's see. So he has Life Orb. I think Ice Beam here should still be able to pick up the knockout. The miss onto Scizor. That's a classic. Just this whole road to ranked has been absurd. He actually... oh no, I thought that he was going to hang on there, but the game was just lagging a little bit. Okay, so we should still win this game. But, man, that was close. Though it's still not over here. I guess with Raichu, what I don't want him to do is get a Swords Dance up. So I'm actually just going to Dragon Ascent and Scald, knowing that Raichu wins the game. But the thing is, if I switch out and Protect and he gets a Swords Dance up, he could maybe pull something off. So the thing here is I'm forcing him to Bullet Punch Rayquaza. If he doesn't, he just loses the game. If he does, then a Scald here will do around 50% to Scizor, and then Raichu's Volt Tackle will be able to seal up the game. So he's going to Bullet Punch here. But he targets down Kyogre, maybe hoping for a Protect or a Switch Out. So that should seal the game effectively up for me. I'm not going for the Overheat because I know Dragon Ascent's 100% accurate, and a combination of that plus Scald or Volt Tackle will be able to seal up the game. So a really scary finish there, but fortunately enough, not enough firepower for him to seal up this game. And it almost knocks out Scizor, but you can see why Overheat is used, because it does get the knockouts on the Steel types, especially other Steel types like Mawile, Aegislash, Metagross, etc. But yeah, wow, I mean, pretty interesting. I didn't think I'd face the near mirror matchup in the first game, though we ended up having somewhat different Pokemon. So I do have Feint on this Raichu, so I can just Feint here. And yeah, he's going to Protect, but not going to give that to him. Feint, of course, does go through the Protects here. Nice. And that seals up the win. Though, I actually realized just now that Feint's on the same priority counter as Extreme Speed. I thought Feint was above, so that's good to note as well. But we do pick up a win in the first game of today's episode, so fun game to Ryan there. Scary closing there with the Overheat missing. I actually thought the game was over, but Kyogre there was bulky enough to hang on from the Dragon Ascent and knock out in retaliation with the Ice Beam. Alright, we're back with the second game. The original second game actually got corrupted, unfortunately, so I wasn't able to record that for you guys, so just re-recording a second game quickly for you, so you still have 2 games in today's episode. But it was a pretty nice one in the first one. We're just going to jump back on and see what we can find. That was definitely a nail-biter for a first game, man. Very similar matchup, too. You don't kind of expect that, especially when you use a team such as this one. But I guess at this point, since there's not that many VGC 2016 teams that have done well and are been posted online, people are really just taking inspiration from anywhere they can find. But we're going to find Nuckabrad for our second opponent, rocking a pretty standard team. Salamence, Xerneas, Smeargle, Groudon, Cresselia, and Ferrothorn. So out of the big 6, you do see the Salamence, the Groudon, the Xerneas, and the Smeargle. No Kangaskhan here. Instead, we see Cresselia and Ferrothorn. So let's see. How do we want to approach this matchup? Obviously, he has the Trick Room option, which is always scary. Scizor can perform very well here against Cresselia and the Xerneas. Even against Ferrothorn, though. Ferrothorn should be able to survive a +2 Bug Bite, which is concerning. The Gravity setup here is always really scary, and that's what I fear the most. So I could always lead with something like Raichu Gengar, or I could go more aggressive and go something like Rayquaza Scizor. I definitely like Scizor as a lead here. The thing is, Salamence threatens most of my Pokemon as a lead. But I guess Gengar can Icy Wind to mitigate that. So maybe I'll just go Gengar Scizor with Kyogre and Rayquaza in the back. I think I like that. So I'll lock in, and we'll see how this goes. But I think the Trick Room matchup here is a little bit difficult. And obviously, I'm not nearly as experienced with this team as Jamie is, so I'm going to go ask him after actually this game and get some insight on the team. But he's going to go with Smeargle and Ferrothorn. Okay, that's pretty interesting. Against Scizor and Gengar, this is pretty ideal, I would say, since I get a free Swords Dance up with Scizor. And he can't really do much. I mean, he can Dark Void, I guess, with Smeargle. But I'm going to Swords Dance. He could Leech Seed right away onto Scizor, which is what I would probably do. But I'm going to Swords Dance, and I'm going to... I could Taunt Smeargle, or I could just Sludge Bomb it, but... let's Taunt it. Okay! Oh, he's going to be Mental Orb, I just see it coming. No! Okay! That's pretty rare. It's rare that your opponent lets you taunt a Smeargle. But maybe he was hoping I would taunt a Ferrothorn, since you do see here is going to Leech Seed. Actually Leech Seeding Gengar as opposed to Ferrothorn, which is pretty interesting. Now this is kind of funny, because I could actually go for another Swords Dance with Scizor. I don't want to do that. He's probably going to switch in Groudon here. That would be my best bet. So I could actually taunt Ferrothorn. Swords Dance again. Or do I want to just switch out into Kyogre? Or do I want to just attack? I have a bunch of options here. I'm gonna Swords Dance again. And I'm gonna taunt Ferrothorn. I'm hoping he Gyro Balls Gengar to knock me out, because Smeargle here should definitely switch out. The thing is, if he knocks out Gengar, then I just win the game, because then I just bring in Kyogre and I Water Spout, Bug Bite everything. Or Bullet Punch. And if he doesn't knock me out, then I can Icy Wind, Protect Scizor. And the only issue here is if he has Substitute with Groudon, which is not exactly the rarest move, I guess. But he actually brings in Salamence, which I'm more than okay with here. Since I'm going to be at +4 with the... Though Icy Wind there would have also been really nice. So there's Taunt. Here's another Swords Dance. We've seen 3 of 4 of my opponent's Pokemon already. And now I do get the switch it into Rayquaza as well. Here is the Gyro Ball, so he did go for the knockout onto Gengar. Or Scizor. Okay. I'm okay with that. Though now this is an interesting turn. I mean, you kind of have to protect Salamence here. But I'm going to play and make this play by going for the Icy Wind and the Bullet Punch, because if you don't protect, then I just get a knockout. Since he might not be expecting that. I'm not sure if +3, I don't think +3 knocks out Salamence, unless he's like hasty. He's Mega Evolving, but Salamence is obviously one of those Megas you want to Mega Evolve, since you don't conserve Intimidate. Normally the speed boost is a big enough factor that you're going to choose to Mega Evolve. But hey, he actually just gave it to me here, which is exactly why I went for that play. I actually get a crit there with Bullet Punch as well, so it just picks up the knockout outright. It's a little bit unfortunate for my opponent there. Icy Wind, of course, did cover the fact that he could potentially, or that Bullet Punch there probably wouldn't knock him out. So Icy Wind onto Ferrothorn, decreasing the speed. Power Whip, probably onto, okay. Onto Scizor, basically hoping for more damage at this point. He is recovering, of course, continuously from the Leech Seed, but he just lost Salamence and he did absolutely nothing in this game. So I'm at +3 Scizor now, and you don't know how happy this makes me. Scizor was the Pokemon that I won the 2012 US National Championships with, so it's great that I'm able to use it right now. He's going to bring in Groudon, more than okay with that. Because like I said, I do have Kyogre in the back. I guess if his Groudon outspeeds... No, I'm just going to protect Icy Wind here. But actually, he could protect Groudon. Yeah. Oh, that would actually be a nice play on his end. If he protects Groudon. I'll still protect Icy Wind here. It's kind of an obvious play. Like, a good play he could make is double protecting. Because chances are his Groudon should outspeed my Scizor. Especially given the offensive... Actually, it might not, because his team is so slow. Okay, so there's a protect. Nice, he just lets me get an Icy Wind off. So now it's, do you have Substitute on Groudon? Because if you do, that's another way that could maybe bring you into this one. Back into this game. Nope, he just Eruptions. That's game, I think. With no way to control the speed at this point, Gengar goes down, but I get the free switching into Kyogre. Now all I have to do is Water Spout, Gyro Ball, or Bullet Punch. Groudon's kind of forced to switch out here. I guess since Taunt wears off, now you can switch Groudon out into Smeargle. Yeah, that would probably work for him. But, you know, VGC 2016 is all about positioning and putting yourself into the best positions possible, and right now I think I've kind of trapped him, especially with the speed decreases. So even though I gave up Gengar there, I didn't really lose very much from it. Okay. So we'll go for the Water Spout. I guess he could protect Groudon too. I'll play it safe here. I mean, I think the obvious play here is to switch Groudon into Smeargle and protect Ferrothorn. If he makes any other play, I think he just loses the game outright. Even with that play, okay, he's not going to switch out or protect. So that's just going to be game. Man, Scizor, I love you. It is so nice that you are doing this well in this format too. Oh my gosh. Yeah, like I was saying, I won 2012 Nationals with Scizor. I got top 16 in 2013 with it. Won a regional championship with it in 2013. Same moveset too, Swords Dance, Bullet Punch, Bug Bite, Protect. That year, you were allowed gems, so most players who ran Scizor often had a Steel Gem, so you get the +2, and then you get the +2, you get boosted by Steel Gem as well, so you know the combination of that was deadly. So yeah, it's surprising to see my opponent not bring in the Cresselia here, maybe to control the speed a little bit better, but I am obviously not going to complain. And that first turn, the lead matchup played out perfectly. You know, he's going to go for a Bullet Punch here onto Kyogre. plus 3 bullet punch here from the Scizor, however, though will go onto a Smeargle and brings it down to its Focus Sash. So yeah, I think maybe obviously my opponent was just hoping to get a Dark Void off, and Dark Void completely turns games around. Though I do have Lumberry on this Scizor as well, so, you know, I don't think it would have even helped him out too much, but there was little reason to go for the Taunt and Swords Dance play turn 1, and from there I was able to just really win the game. But I think another play my opponent could have made was bringing in the Groudon as opposed to the Salamence. You know, at least Groudon puts on pressure with Fire-type attacks, and you can go for Precipice Blades if you carry it to both damage Scizor and Kyogre, and then Ferrothorn is a great answer to the Kyogre. So I thought the Salamence there was maybe a major misplay. I think Groudon would have significantly turned the battle around at least, or put on more pressure, whereas Salamence really didn't do anything, and then he just let me attack it too. I did get a critical hit, but in the long run didn't matter, since as long as Icy Wind connected, would have been able to take the game. So we do finish the first 2 days, or first 2 games with this team, 2-0, but you know, like I said, I will be pushing a little bit harder for the rankings, hitting the 1700s, and then hopefully mid 1700s, maybe even the 1800s with this team, so we'll see how that goes. But hope you guys enjoyed the very first episode with this new team. It's got a ton of surprises, a ton that we haven't used either, and so hopefully Togetic makes an appearance soon. Anyway, that's going to be it for this episode. Hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like always if you did, and go check out Jamie's stuff. He's an awesome guy, making some awesome VGC content, and highly underrated. Alright, I'll see you guys next time. Peace.